In Keble, Kentucky, he's known as Dan the Antler Man, with good reason. Working with the antlers of elk, moose, mule deer, and bison, Dan MacPhail designs furniture that brings to mind the hunting lodges and ranches of the great American West.
He stands out to me because of his quality of work. Also, I like the style of the work. I mean, if you're aware of quality, that's what you have with MacPhail stuff. That's what led me to collecting it, so I love it.
Trying to figure out Dan is very tough. He's such an intelligent individual, well-read, worldly, been everywhere, done that, and the way he looks at things. And you see it in his artwork.
I was always digging something when I was a kid, and according to my father, he says, I've been doing this since I was 4 years old, and I really wasn't a hunter. And where I grew up, there were no deer, and there were no antlers. I started thinking about building what you could build out of antlers if you could get hold of them. And I buy from two different brokers. One's in Oregon and one's in Idaho. And you can buy antler by color, rights or lefts, how many tines, or the length. You can be very specific. And you will run out of money before you run out of antlers today. It's a deciduous product. It's renewable every year. Almost all the other antler guys have been carpenters or in the trade craft of some sort. And I come from a fine art background, and that's the difference. So the painting, restoration, that sort of thing has been a benefit and reflects, I hope, in my work. One of the showrooms I have is in Frisco, Colorado, and Steve Butts, who runs that, had mentioned once. He said, your work just looks easy like it was natural to do, easy to do. It didn't look like anybody had gone to any great effort to make, and I like that. And I think there's a French term called trompe-l'oeil, and that means fool the eye. So you just look at it and it looks like it was meant to be that way.
If you look at someone else's work and then compare it to his, if you look close, I mean, you look from a distance. You know how things look good from 10 or 20 feet? Sometimes, and then you get up closer and it doesn't look as good. Well, you get close to his, you can't find out. He not only takes an antler and puts it together, and the screws and everything he needs to put it together with is all perfect, but also the coloring, painting it, and you can't tell. You just think he stacked them there, and the colors are beautiful. You don't realize he's actually altered the colors, painted. He uses this stuff called all game that's kind of like clay. And he puts it all over where the screw holes are and everything, but you can't tell it. You can't see anything. So you look at other people's work, they don't go into that detail like MacPhail does.
I've seen a lot of this work from different artists and was impressed up to the point where I met Dan. Then I realized that what I'd been looking at was secondhand. If you set the pieces side by side of two different artists, not to knock anyone, not what I'm trying to do, but to compare those pieces, it wouldn't take long for even the layman to see the differences. And Dan's detail is exquisite.
I can take any antler If I'm going to make a chandelier, it doesn't matter. They can be rights or lefts, different colors, it doesn't even matter. And been doing it so long that I can just make it work, and it just looks like it was meant to flow together. You can make anything out of any antler. I mean, some lend themselves easier to chairs or chandeliers and things. The showroom in St. Moritz, Switzerland that carries my work, they give me carte blanche when they order something. They just say, we want something like this, and they're easy to work with. I try to finish a piece to such a detail that you can't find a flaw. Now, I might see something in there, but because once somebody sees one flaw, they're going to start looking for more. Henry David Thoreau said, if one advances confidently in the direction of your dreams and lives the life you envision, you'll come away with profits not found in common hours. Paraphrased, but essentially. So that, you find your heart's desire and don't worry about the money. Just do whatever you love and life will work out.